Well, good morning, everyone. I've noticed that we just began recording for the SMART kapp demonstration today. My name is Fraser Cousins, and I look forward to supporting this call for the next coming minutes for the demonstration that we're going to do today. I'm not sure if there's anyone from VSGi that wants to kick us off. If not, I'll pause a moment for the remaining participants to join. While we're preparing for the beginning of the session, feel free to use the chat window to be able to engage myself or Ryan Strymar on any questions that you'd like to have answered during the process, and we'll make sure that we allot some time for Q&A at the end of the session.
Fraser, Matt from VSGi is going to be joining us. He's just having an issue with his audio, so just give us a minute and he will be here.
No problem.
Thanks. Okay, it looks like Matt's audio is not working for him this morning, so we are just going to get started. Fraser, if you want to kick us off, that would be great.
All right. Well, thank you all for attending today's webinar called SMART kapp Demo. What we're actually going to do a review today is a new display that's really been reimagined for different overall meeting spaces and some trends around what we're really seeing in those markets. Then we're going to pause and actually get a live demonstration from the world headquarters of SMART in Calgary, where Ryan, one of my team members, will actually give you a live demonstration of KappIQ and some of its capabilities, and then close off on any questions that you guys may have and how this might fit into your conferencing and meeting room strategy. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the share screen function within WebEx and be able to share with you the presentation that we're going to review today. And I'll put that in show mode. So like I mentioned earlier, my name is Fraser Cousins. I'm the director at SMART around enterprise strategy, which is really focused around how we really can unlock the ability of collaboration. Many different approaches on meeting rooms can really unlock the ability of unified communications, where what SMART really does is adds the capabilities around collaboration to take that a lot further. So let's start with a fun topic of, if you look at these photos, is this something that looks familiar to your meeting environment? Feel free to use the raise hand feature in WebEx to like this or mention it that you have seen the conference call in real life. YouTube video is something that maybe you live every day in your professional careers, that you go from one meeting to another, whether it's remote participants or in a meeting room, and really the meeting room is kind of the last point of frustration to actually really accomplish goals in a meeting. But there's hope. There's new ways to really unlock new capabilities to take this a lot further. In fact, SMART wants to share with you some key statistics around this area, that today in 2015, we've eclipsed the point that over 54% of meeting participants include remote participants today. As well as that there's been a massive change in the industry of what meeting room technologies people are leveraging from what was previously a telepresence system to be able to ignite voice and video, to move more to lower cost, more economical USB endpoints to be able to light up meeting peripherals in a more economical way of using a unified communications service like WebEx that we are today, or Skype for Business, or Zoom, or different platforms that really can let you reimagine that on a mobile, your desktop, as well as your meeting room. Over 42% of those same systems are people and users complain about that the current technology is not helping them to get started. In fact, Microsoft did a study that it takes up to 12 minutes to get the technology started in a meeting room, and that's not helping our ability to have productive meetings in meeting room environments today. Yet, people still continue to choose formal environments and huddle zones to meet together to really generate the right activities to be able to have those areas. So over 3/4 of how people are actually spent on collaborating is actually in common spaces to accomplish those goals. So I want to really pose this concept of thinking about the modalities of a unified communication strategy. And I want to really delineate the difference between conversing and collaboration. And I want you to really think about what technologies that your organization is really using today to go beyond conversing to collaboration, to really help facilitate things like content sharing, and then how to really work and interact with that content. So normally, the two major technologies that we see in meeting rooms today are a projector and screen, or a flat panel perhaps, and a whiteboard, a dry erase whiteboard to capture those areas. Those tend to be the two largest visual aids to help us drive views around collaboration. In fact, about 60% of corporate America has some type of display in the rooms they're in, and over 75% of those spaces have some type of dry erase whiteboard, easel, or flip chart to be able to manage it. But they're accomplishing two different types of collaboration. The first, the display, is really doing a great job of doing a one-to-many to share out pre-created material to others to get informed feedback and retention on what those areas around are. But the whiteboard is really more the reverse. It's a tool for getting contribution. It's the ability to be able to get knowledge from that's not pre-created into the meeting, which is the fruit of the meeting, if you will, whether that's parking lot items, brainstorming, pro-con decision making items that are really the value of the meeting. With SMART, what we've done is actually combine these two capabilities with our this family, what we call kapp IQ, that allows you to have essentially a smart television, if you will, that is touch and interactive, but it also gives you this great built-in whiteboard. And it's available today. We have a full size and range of sizes for this that range from 55, 65, and 75 inch. And have either IQ or what we call IQ Pro that powers that experience. And it's designed for today's modern computing, whether it's bringing in a laptop or your mobile devices to actually power that full experience, and allows everyone to be connected without the requirement of having software to be allow everyone to have a voice, everyone to contribute. So think of it like a smart television that, rather than having Netflix built in, is a whiteboard that's built in. That whiteboard has the ability to share up to 250 people live from its session. And you basically, anyone that has a browser and the internet can actually connect to the session, and not only will they be able to view what's happening in the room on that whiteboard, but they'll also be able to contribute from their device. That being said, it's not just a whiteboard, it's also an Ultra HD display, so you can display high 4K content, whether that's AutoCAD or your computer material to videos. You can review what you need to do in your meeting rooms. And it's not only a display, but it's an interactive display that allows you to touch, mark up, and work on the material that you're actually working on in a group environment. Lastly, SMART kapp IQ is used heavily in to complete a unified communications strategy for the room, whether that's using it with telepresence, phones, or unified communication platforms, devices. You can really do the whole gambit for having this be your answer for the display and whiteboard that fit where you are in your UC journey. We're really proud to tell you that we've won many awards over this past year since we've announced this new kapp IQ product, including the prestigious Bluetooth Award for the most inventive approach around using Bluetooth, which we'll talk a little bit about in a second. So what I want you guys to really think about for a while as we get into the demonstration is I want you to think about a decade ago when you were carrying a digital camera and also a mobile phone. What was it like when you had these two different devices, and when we actually now have one combined device with a smartphone? How many new experiences we have reimagined with that experience? Would we have thought of Flickr or the way that our Facebook or LinkedIn timelines work today, or Instagram for the way that we're able to instantly share and really have a rich experience when we combine those two experiences? SMART contends that we're actually at the same forefront of combining the value of a display and this built-in whiteboard now for our meeting rooms that could really unlock this capability with kapp IQ. So with that, I'm going to hand off to my colleague, Ryan Starmeyer, to actually give you a live demonstration from World Headquarters on two very interesting concepts of how we can show you how you can get more when you combine these two different capabilities. The first concept we're going to talk about is the idea of continue. I want you to think of continue as TiVo is to your ideas, that you can really pause and resume any concept or any idea that you've been working on with a group to be able to allow for that idea to continue and iterate. And then secondly, we're going to show you the concept of what we call live share, which is an ability to do multi-whiteboarding and share up to 250 people, which is what we're going to do actually live in this WebEx session. So with that, I'm going to pause my screen sharing and pass it over to my colleague, Ryan. And so bear with me 1 second. I'm going to find the ball and share it with Ryan. Ryan, are you able to hear us?
I definitely am. How are you today, Fraser?
Very well, very well. So for everyone, welcome Ryan to the call. He won't be sharing his content, but he'll actually be sharing his video, what kapp IQ looks like, and walk us through what we're seeing here, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm standing in front of what we call a Smart kapp IQ Pro unit. It's a 65-inch interactive flat panel, and it's in that whiteboard mode that Fraser was just talking about a few moments ago. So let me paint a picture for you just real quick of my experience here over the past couple of minutes with this unit. When I walked into the room about 20 minutes ago to set up for this meeting today, the screen itself was actually black, but a small proximity sensor on the bottom corner detected my presence in the room, and the board essentially came to life. Now that I'm standing in front of this board, it gives me a couple of really clear indications of what I'm able to do with it when it's in this mode. First, what you'll notice is that in the middle of the screen here, it says write. Essentially, it's encouraging me to pick up a pen from the panel here beneath the screen and begin to write. And I can do that. Pick up a pen and begin to take notes and add content on this board very, very easily. So it's quite intuitive. It has the object awareness portion as well here too. So it knows when I'm writing on the board with a pen or when I'm going to be using my fist to erase as you would with a normal whiteboard. Very easy to use and very straightforward. It also gave me a couple of options in the bottom corner of the board to do something that we call scanning and sharing. Basically, what would happen there is we've developed an app that allows us to pair the board with a mobile device via Bluetooth and then share that content out. I'm going to show you what Fraser mentioned a moment ago called continue. I started a session on this same board a few minutes ago, basically just to welcome everyone to this session. And since then, I've disconnected my phone from the board and erased the whiteboard, wiping it clean, starting from scratch. But now that I'm in the session and now presenting to you, I want to bring that content back up again. So using the app, I'm able to go back in and revisit any session that I've already begun or saved and continue it. So I'm going to rescan the board after choosing my previous session, and the board will establish a Bluetooth connection with my device, and that content will reappear on the screen. Now, pause a moment and think about this in your own context. This could have been a meeting from a week ago or a month ago that we wanted to revisit. Now, we don't have to go through a whole whack of files or find our notes from that meeting. We can simply go back into our list of previous sessions, pull it back up, and begin to interact with that content in the same way we would when we normally use the whiteboard. So I can begin to erase, I can re-add content to this session, but that doesn't stop there. I'm also able to share this session with remote participants, up to 250 people. So as of this moment, using the app on my phone, I've actually made this session live, and there's a link that's available through the app that you can click on, and using any modern web browser on any device, you can jump in and participate in this session with me as if we're standing around a whiteboard together, which we are doing simply in a virtual sense. So Fraser, did that link go out to the crowd here?
I did. I shared it in the chat window. So for anyone who's following the WebEx session, right below the video area on participants, there's a chat area where you saw a posting from Fraser to everyone that said to experience the link, just hit the live sharing experience by tapping the link that I did. And what you'll find is that we'll open up in a web browser and give you that full experience of what's happening there. How are we doing, Ryan? Is there folks joining the session from your end?
There definitely are. I've got some contribution on the board, and I see 36 people in my session, 38 now actually. So that's fantastic.
And growing. And what you're noticing, guys, is that there was no software to download. Did you notice the difference between when you joined a WebEx session where there was a plug-in to actually join? SMART actually has a zero deposit software on actually joining the session. And you'll notice that whether you're joining from a laptop, a PC, a Mac, a browser, an iPad, an Android device, even a BlackBerry, you really are able to join from any type of device, and as long as it's a modern browser and connected to the internet, you can actually have a live session here. And when Ryan actually made this live, he had the option to decide whether he wanted to password protect this further or not. In this case, we decided because you joined the WebEx session, we would make this instant access for joining.
Absolutely. A couple of different things that I want to point out about this experience that we're having right now. First of all, obviously, I pulled up a previous session, saved content that I worked on previously. But as you can see, for those who are watching or participating, that's actually been erased. So thank you to the crowd for that. But the point being that you can actually re-engage with that content and use it and manipulate it in the same way that you would want to as if you were starting a session from scratch. A couple of more things. First of all, the board that we're working on is a panoramic whiteboard. So we really have 4 whiteboard widths of space here to work with. The other thing is that you can all work independently of me. You can scroll independently, write independently, contribute to this session on your own away from me in a different place on the whiteboard. But if you wanted to come back to me and follow me as the host, you have an option on your device to click follow host, which would bring you back to exactly where I'm at on this page. The last feature that I want to point out at this point is that we have the ability to capture content, take snapshots of the session that we're hosting right now. So I can tap on this camera icon on the board itself, or tap on a camera icon on my app as the host and capture screenshots of this whiteboard that can then be shared out to people as JPEGs or PDFs, or I can continue from this session again at a later point as well too. I can capture as many of these as I would like, and it continues to add to basically a small booklet in this session that you can actively go back and review even as the session is still happening. So that's a little bit about Kapp IQ at this point. Fraser, have I missed anything? What else can I be covering in this session to provide value here?
No, that's great, Ryan. I think for everyone to understand, it really offers the ability for what you want to accomplish in the type of meetings that your knowledge workers are looking to do. Whether it's a town hall where you're addressing all an in-room audience, it'll allow everyone to connect and save their own notes. Or it could be over distance where you're really allowing for breakouts or other areas that you're really trying to allow for full contribution. It really kind of allows that full range of solution because there's no boundaries on the ability to be able to share and share to any device. It's something that's very powerful. It does allow up to 250 people live to be connected, and theoretically, each person that's connected can actually share it to another board. We do something called multi-whiteboarding, where you can actually do a full room replication, regardless of the device. You can connect it via Bluetooth to your own kapp IQ to allow for that full experience. You might be wondering what this solution may cost. So this is a value that's actually included in when you purchase this Ultra HD display from SMART and VSGi. It comes included in the app. So with that, perhaps if I can get the ball, the WebEx ball passed back to me for a moment, and what I'll be able to do is pick back up the presentation and continue to share. Thank you.
Perfect. And Fraser, do we have any questions right now in the chat window?
Let's find out. So none posted to myself. So if you do have questions on chat, guys, feel free to use the areas. Oh, I did get one just right now. And the question was, can I put a drawing or graphic as the background of those whiteboards? And so the answer to that question today is, today in our current version of kapp IQ is limited to annotation. But you're going to see more and more new capabilities on what you'll actually be able to do for bringing in images and other areas of where that's going. So stay tuned to this, and you essentially get updates if you subscribe to the recurring maintenance package of your kapp IQ. The second question we got is, what about marking up and design drawings? And so this is a very important point that both Ryan and I wanted to make sure that is clear. The kapp IQ is kind of like a smarter smartboard. So all the things that you could have done on a smartboard, you have the ability to still share your computer monitor directly with your audience and have the ability to mark up anything, including AutoCAD, Visio, any type of program, and have that universal inking approach that you can really ink on and mark up and save any type of content that you want to do. What's special about the kapp IQ further is this kind of multi-whiteboarding feature that doesn't require any software to be able to share to everyone. That's kind of what's kind of unique about it. There's another question about, are you able to present an Excel spreadsheet and mark that up? And the answer to that is absolutely. Perhaps at the end of the demonstration, we'll have Ryan actually do that for you guys live by sharing an Excel spreadsheet and showing what that markup experience is like. In fact, not only can we mark up Excel, but one of the ones that we're very famous for is that we work beyond Office, where it's not just Microsoft Office solutions that we're able to mark up any type of program, including PDF, which is the #1 file type used in the world today. We're actually wanting to do full markup of Adobe PDF and actually be able to save it directly in PDF, which is super useful. Connect via Bluetooth today to action, the first one to initiate session. It is intended only for that could be tablet or or iPhone or any of the Android family. Because of the QR code methodology we're using. So today we don't have a PC app, or we didn't take the laptop. It would be very easy to be able to connect. But once connected, of course, laptops and Macs alike can participate in the session. So be aware of those. But today we're limited to iOS and Android solutions. Next question is, where does the whiteboard content save to? Well, it saves to your device. So that's the very powerful approach to security around how this experience works. So when we're actually live sharing, we're live sharing this as a stream of content that's going to you. And when Ryan hits the ability to hit a snapshot, he's now enabled the participants to be able to save to your device. And so when you save, you're actually saving to the device that you're on. So if you're on a browser that's a laptop, it would save to the local drives or the local network stores that you have access to on your solution. So if you're on, let's say, a mobile phone, perhaps you have, you would let you save to your camera roll, provided your phone allows you to do so, or save to your drives that you have access to. One last question, and the question was around someone wants to make sure that they're didn't miss anything, and they wanted to make sure, can I use this as a regular screen? And the answer is absolutely. You can watch television on this. This is a computer monitor, as it were. So I would like any commercial monitor or projector that you're used to. It's just an Ultra HD one, so it gives you up to 4K resolution that lets you really share any type of content. What's special about Smart's Kapp IQ is every video source has a paired USB area with it. So what that means is that every source can be an interactive experience. So whether that's a guest laptop or a connected computer, you can toggle between those experiences and still have a touch-enabled experience, which is another unique feature that only Smart can provide, like the proximity detector as well. Then there's a question around, is there a cloud solution or integration for saving these whiteboard sessions? And the answer is no. This service that Smart is doing with the app is really no cloud storage really is available. You can certainly subscribe to OneDrive or Google Drive or any type of, let's say, box or Dropbox that you want to save to, but Smart isn't providing that particular experience. That may be something that you as your organization would decide to do or you may want to save these sessions. Last one is, another question is around, can you control a PC or application via the whiteboard, such as changing the Excel spreadsheet as mentioned and edit and type in cells? The answer is yes, provided you're using a web conferencing or a unified communications experience. Smart, of course, has a sister product that we call Smart Bridget that allows you to accomplish that goal. Or you can use Skype for Business or your web conferencing product of choice to be able to remotely take over and be able to drive that experience. But it's something that is very possible. Another question is, while marking up a PDF drawing, can we share the drawing? So you absolutely can. So actually, Ryan, what do you think about taking back the presenter ball and actually, but before we do that, why don't I share the remaining portion of the presentation, and then we'll hand back to Ryan to maybe actually demonstrate that aspect of the solution so everyone has a better understanding of the content that's able to be shared and what you're actually able to accomplish. I'm going to define. So yeah, bottom line, this is not all for what you can do on a smart board. You can really interact with any content you want to right on any application. Save and distribute those files in the native file format like PDF, like markup a browser, and be able to experience those that ability with fewer boundaries. We also have a very deep integration with Exchange integration. So if you're thinking about meeting rooms where you have a scheduled experience that you're looking to, Smart actually has something called Kapp IQ Pro that gives you two very unique features that are very interesting. The first one's around Exchange integration. So imagine that you schedule your meeting and you book the meeting room. What you actually do is walk in and actually instantly start your meeting and be able to have one tap join to your web conference, as well as be able to instantly publish the first page of your whiteboard to be the date and subject of your meeting, who the organizer was, who accepted the meeting, and who's actually at the session, where you can actually do roll call and so forth, and then have access to your files that you've attached to your session for instant drag and drop to your meeting. And then when you're done with the meeting with our Exchange integration, you can actually hit wrap up, and when you wrap up, it gives you the option to save all the changes that you've made throughout your meeting, as well as the ability to decide to email all the attendees with the changes, or just yourself to be able to send back to yourself. It's kind of your option there for how you want to use it. And bottom line, 90% of the organizations are running Exchange today, and over 70% of meetings are scheduled. So I really encourage you to look at SMART's Exchange integration on kapp IQ Pro if you're thinking about deploying your next meeting rooms in a scheduled arena. Then lastly, we want to also talk about the nature of content that you can mark up. And so we've just launched a new capability around PDF markup that's really important. So not only can we do markup of multiple people, but we have a new feature called attribution. And what attribution allows you to do is it allows you to assign your markups to a particular person. And what it actually does in your PDF natively is it will actually, in the comments section, take a date and timestamp of when you actually made that change, and actually allow you to have that meta information for commentary on those areas. So in this case, you're seeing some green markup and red markup, and you're seeing that between Dave and Adil on the right-hand side there, making their markups. I'll just go ahead and go into the pen area to show you the markup area where it has that great detailed markup meta information. So when you actually tap on this, it'll highlight which one is the actual changes. Very powerful if you haven't seen that live. And very timely and valuable, because PDF today is the #1 file format used today for sharing information. So with that, I hope you get a quick sense of how SMART can, with this capability, you can choose it as your display of choice for where you're thinking about your spaces, and that allow you to unlock these group decisions faster and better, and be able to really up-level your meetings. So rather than buying a traditional 4K display today that might be not touch-enabled, really consider kapp IQ for your next projects, because it'll give you not only that ability for being a touch-enabled, have a built-in intelligent smart whiteboard built into it, but also the ability to create, mark up anything you're working on, have a proximity detector that instantly wakes up your ad hoc meetings, and allows you to instantly do live collaboration and have a total cost of ownership that really reduces your total cost for your meetings. So with that, I'll pause and try and answer any more Q&A that we have, as well as perhaps pass the ball back to Ryan for perhaps a live demonstration of the content channel. So let me just go back to the chat window. The next question we have is around, can the kapp IQ be used with video conference equipment such as Polycom? The answer is absolutely. Any meeting room you're thinking about that is using a display allows you to use kapp IQ for those scenarios. In fact, the new Polycom Group 500 series offers touch-enabled monitor support, but the kapp IQ has been tested and it works perfectly for passing those multi-touch events to the Polycom experience. In fact, we have many customers using both Polycom and Cisco every day with SMART's kapp IQ in the experience. Next question is, can kapp IQ be included in the Skype for Business room system package? So there's a question about one of our, if you think about what SMART sells, we have 3 major categories of services in the enterprise. We sell dry erase whiteboards that we call SMART Kapp, that gives you the same ability to broadcast live what you're working on a dry erase whiteboard. We have this kapp IQ, which is the display reimagined, that lets you use it in any type of meeting room space that we just talked in detail about. The third area is around Skype for Business room systems, which is a full, complete turnkey solution that includes both voice, video, the codec as a full complete package? And the answer is today, can kapp be included on a Skype for Business from System X? The answer is not at this moment, but you certainly can have kapp IQ participate in the meeting room and be able to be shared through a Skype for Business instant message to all the Skype for Business users. We in fact have many organizations that will actually or kapp IQs on the sidewall, or a dry erase whiteboard, or a television whiteboard that can then share that link through the Skype for Business experience as something that is supported and able to do. It just can't be added within the existing extra small through extra large packages. Next question is about Adobe Connect. So can I use Adobe Connect with kapp IQ? And the answer is absolutely. It fully supports it. Adobe Connect uses the same methodology in terms of browser-based delivery with a very low deposit on software. It's a perfect pairing in regards to a web conference experience. So kapp IQ can be, just like we did in WebEx, be able to share that instant link live through the session, and can share that PDF as a repository in that Adobe Connect session. Absolutely possible. And you can also, we support markups of Adobe Connect sessions with the kapp IQ. So there's a question about, tell me a little bit more how that display connects with my computer. Today's kapp IQ, when you're sharing your contents, there's two ways that you're connecting. So you can connect to the whiteboard via a link, and that link can be sent to you via text or email or through instant message or any of the services, or AirDrop, or any of the services that your phone has for sharing. And then connecting to it is really through the browser and the internet to connect back to that phone for that live session that you're actually sharing. When it comes to sharing your content, that's where you would use an HDMI and USB cable to plug into your computer to then share it, just like a projector and screen. We, of course, support wireless sharing protocols, whether it's Marco ClickShare, Cross-Trainer Media. Those are also methods that you can share and broadcast to the kapp IQ, and but of course follow standards HDMI that would be able to be accomplished. Next question is, do you have a table design of the kapp IQ as opposed to just being something that would be hanging on a wall? The answer is not at this moment. So kapp IQ, we do have third-party stands that follow to a drafts table or more of a 45-degree view, and there are third-party stands that offer straight horizontal. But from a manufacturer standpoint, we don't recommend running a kapp IQ for any prolonged period of time in a horizontal manner. It's designed to be a television-based one. We don't have a separate model to run as a table-based design today. Next question's around, so it sounds like I want to just confirm how does it exactly work for sharing. So to initiate a sharing session from the whiteboard, it is using Bluetooth. That's how we won the Bluetooth award this year. So when Ryan actually connected, he was using that QR code that establishes a Bluetooth connection. We're actually using TLS 2.1 encryption to connect via Bluetooth, and only one device at a time can connect via Bluetooth for security reasons. So that allows for no one to eavesdrop on your session or having unintended users to connect to your session. And then from there, what Ryan was able to do is share that live session. In this case, we chose to share it through the WebEx session through IM, the link for all you folks to join. But that could have been texted, emailed, or airdropped, or any of the services that Ryan had on his phone to share that, which is the requirement to join is a connection to the internet in a browser. So the next question is around the smartboard itself, and the question's around, can this smartboard be dynamic and work in multiple rooms? And the answer is, I believe, if I'm interpreting the question right, if you're thinking about the one kapp IQ, can it be wheeled as a mobile solution between different experiences? That's an absolutely supported scenario, and it's what a lot of organizations may do to start. Or you could also interpret the question as, what if I had several kapp IQs in several rooms? Can they all be working in concert? And the answer to that question is absolutely. You could be on the same session, have up to 250 kapp IQs all simultaneously connected to the same session to allow for a full room replication, as it were, for you to be able to accomplish the same goal. And again, all included for the in the app that you get for included in your purchase. So with that, perhaps I can have Ryan get the ball back. And Ryan, I'm not sure if you're in a position to be able to do maybe a share of a PDF or an Excel spreadsheet. What's your thoughts there, Ryan?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm all set to go here, so I can do that anytime you'd like.
Go ahead. What are we looking
Perfect.
at, Ryan?
Well,
walk us through what you're doing.
Well, absolutely. So I heard a couple of different questions while I was putting some resources together during that Q&A period. And one of the things that I want to take a moment just to kind of flesh out here for everyone on the call is how my setup is actually working today. So we went over that whiteboard share portion of Kapp IQ where I used my device to share a link out to you. But as Fraser mentioned and as we've been discussing, this is also a great front of room display as well too. And so I'm going to tell you about the room that I'm in and how it's set up, and then you know, maybe that'll help address some of those questions around conferencing and adding other tools to the meeting. So basically, in terms of sharing my screen, and that's what this is right now, is really my laptop's desktop. So I have my laptop in front of me on a table. And then I have a webcam connected to my laptop, which is how you're seeing me. And then I have the Kapp IQ connected to my my laptop as well too, via those two cables that Fraser mentioned. HDMI lights up the display, and then the USB is what gives me the ability to reach up and touch the board and interact with the content that I have on my laptop. That translates it now to the board. So, you know, it's a very intuitive experience, very easy to use, and it's an experience that I want to start off by saying people are quite accustomed to nowadays, thanks to mobile devices and things like tablets, right? So, you know, when you walk up to this display and you want to use it for presentation or just to work with your team in a huddle space, it behaves the way that you would expect it to. So, you know, in addition to that, I'm also able to obviously pick up a pen and begin to work over different surfaces. So this is Google Chrome. This is just the VSGi website, and I'm able to use this pen and begin to ink and annotate over this website. And you know, maybe I'm working with a web development team, and I'm marking up things that I want to change. And maybe I want to make the SMART logo bigger down here and have it take up more of the page, whatever it might be. It's definitely an option for me. I mentioned before during my whiteboard demo that there's that object awareness, and you've seen that already as well. So pick up a pen, begin to write, the board recognizes that. I can take my fist again and I can begin to erase the content that I already created on the board, and again start from scratch here if I wanted to. And obviously take my fingers and begin to scroll and work with this website in that way. There were a couple of other asks as well too. So one of them was PDF. And I have a PDF here of our Kapp IQ. This is just a spec sheet found on our website in case you have any more questions about specifics surrounding this unit. Obviously, this works the same way as the website. I'm able to take my fingertips and begin to scroll, but also I'm able to take a pen again and begin to mark up and make notes on this. And you'll notice that as I begin to scroll this PDF, the ink stays with it. It's actually within the PDF file. So as I begin to work and make notes and maybe review with my team a couple of different things that we're interested in or questions that we have, it becomes very easy, again, and intuitive to work with the unit. So that's a little bit about PDF right there. One of the other asks that I heard while I was listening in was around Excel and the ability to work with Excel files. So I threw together a fairly rudimentary Excel spreadsheet here. It's really just 3 different numbers, but I'm going to highlight the ability to interact and use this display in a way that might be valuable during meetings, right? So, you know, let's say that we're reviewing some numbers and we've come to the conclusion that, hey, we need to increase this 2,000 to, I don't know, let's say 35,000. I'm able to pick up a pen and work with a couple of different tools that are available to me. One of those tools is the ability to actually convert ink to text within Microsoft Excel. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna write 35,000, and I'm going to confirm that that's actually exactly what I want to put in the cell. The ink has now been converted to text, and I get to choose where I want to place this text. I'm going to replace that value of 2,000 with 35,000, and you'll see that I literally just opened up Excel and began to ink and touch this application. So our ink and this board work very well with just about anything you can think of. It's a very intuitive, easy experience, and it behaves very, very well. So Fraser, what else can I be showing that would be of value at this point to everyone on the call?
No, I think that's exactly perfect. Thank you, Ryan. And I think the other point that everyone should be aware of the range of what you can accomplish. What Ryan just showed you is that possible on any program that you want to mark up. You have the ability to either highlight and mark up and then capture that, or you can actually do convert to text to any cell, open cell text field that is possible, whether that's a web browser, whether that's SAP or a proprietary program to your company, to anything. Really that Smart Ink is what we call universal ink. It really can work on any program, and we support, of course, Windows 7 and above for that full experience for you to be able to have a great experience on your content. There's a couple more questions, Ryan, that I'll just jump into to try and answer.
Sure.
So the next question I got was, is there an administrator interface with kapp IQ, and what does that look like? And so the answer to that question is absolutely. You as an administrator can control the experience for kapp IQ. So you can be able to set the appliance in a specific way, and there's more on that later that will be coming through for what you can actually do. And then also when you deploy Smart's ink and drivers, you as an administrator can default the experience you're looking for to your users in a specific way to make sure that you have a nice controlled, augmented experience to all your users. Then there's a question about how many licenses are included for this. And so there's actually no requirement for licensing for the kapp app. So that is an included free app that you can find in iOS or Google Play for download. So there's no requirement for licensing there. It's a concurrency model, so it only allows you to connect to 250 people live at any given time. But every user would have that ability to do that. And then you might be wondering, is there licenses for the software or the Smart Ink experience? And so we offer a full universal license for as many users as you like with kapp IQ. And then we also offer, if you buy kapp IQ Pro, which is an augmented version, we give you 25 licenses per unit you buy of what we call Meeting Pro, which Meeting Pro then gives you that ability to do things like Exchange integration and a more of a power user whiteboard and features beyond what we're showing here today. Next question is there a web URL for sharing the whiteboard, and is that a persistent link, or is that something that dynamically changes? And the answer is, and I don't want to be too smug with this answer, but the answer is yes. What I mean by that is you as a host have the option to either have a custom URL where every meeting has a dynamic URL different, which can have up to 2.7 billion possible permutations of what that could be. And so every new session is new, regardless of what kapp IQ you're connecting to. Or you have the option to create a recurring link, a persistent one, a reservation-less one that's from you at your meeting. So think about the types of meetings you'd be having. Maybe it's a project meeting where there's value in having a recurrence versus an approach where you would want a custom meeting like that. Might make sense. Is there licensing requirements for users, single, multiple groups? I hope I answered that question. So again, no requirements for licensing that whiteboard is included in your purchase. The only requirement, I guess, is, as it relates to any type of licensing is please consider your subscription for your recurring maintenance for that experience, so you have the eligibility to update your experience. Because we have new features coming out all the time that you can actually continue to keep your system up and running and live. Lastly, can the kapp IQ live share the PC display? And the answer to that question is not in the same way that the whiteboard is done. So when you're sharing your content, use either your web conference service that you're subscribed to from your computer, or SMART has a sister product that we call SMART Bridget that allows you to be able to share that out to Macs, PCs, other smart boards, or iPads alike. But it's not included in this particular kapp IQ experience. So it's really about having this pair with your unified communication platform that you're working in. It kind of gives you that built-in whiteboard to go with any unified communication experience you're working with. Okay, with that, we're approaching the top of the hour. I want to thank you so much for your time today, for getting a sense of how you can up-level your meeting for any kind of meeting space, whether that's the smallest huddle rooms where you're looking for an ad hoc experience to auto-wake up and have this instant whiteboard built-in capability, to your largest rooms that could be fitted with video conferencing and dual screens and different experiences there. Really, kapp IQ allows you to have that display versatility to really where you have a display, you can really make that an interactive experience and really take your conversing meetings to a lot more of a content-rich collaborative session. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Fraser. For everyone on the call, we will be sending out a copy of the recording to the people who've registered, so thank you for that. And if you do have any questions on pricing or promotion offers, please reach out to your VSGi account manager, and they will be more than happy to help you out. So thanks very much, Brian, Fraser. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.